What's on the playlist, baby? What's on the playlist, baby? What's on the playlist, baby? What's on the playlist?
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to What's on the Playlist, the podcast that dives into planning weddings, the wedding industry, and everything in between. My name is Chris Romero.
My name is Tony Pacheco.
And what's up, y'all? It's Victoria.
We want to thank you all for joining us once again, and we are getting right into it in this episode because we're under a little time crunch today for all of us.
Oh, yeah.
So we like to start off our episodes talking about our recent events, and we've got a few. It's been a few weeks since we've been able to record, so we've got a few to talk about here, and then we will dive into the topic of the day, which is going to be looking at the recent trends that the three of us have seen at our events so far in 2025, and we want to talk about those, and then maybe get a little feedback from you all in the comments, what you're seeing as well. So let's go ahead and jump into it and talk about the recent events and weddings. And I know you were just out playing in the mud, right?
Oh, God.
Yep.
Yes, we could talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, we'll hit that up. You had the luck of the draw of going to Bonnaroo.
The worst luck, guys.
Yeah,
I went to a festival like last October, 2 years ago, got canceled because of the wind. I go to this one, get canceled because of the rain. We went to Bonnaroo, and yeah, it got canceled. 3 days out of the 4 got canceled.
Yeah, that's terrible.
It was absolutely devastating. There's so many levels to the disappointment. I can now process and talk about it freely. I couldn't talk about it.
Yeah, that's fair.
That when
Too many emotions.
Too many emotions. There's still a lot going on. It's a hard festival to attend. It's in Tennessee.
Yeah.
The window of lifetime. This was the perfect time. We're getting married next year. We're not doing anything next year, so we can't go next year. We might go in 2027. But it was so hard, so much money to spend, and it was disappointing.
You know what's so we didn't plan on this, but it's made me think. This is very like similar and relative to planning a wedding.
I thought
to your weddings, right?
Yep.
Like you spend all this time and this money, and then I think of it in terms of planning an outdoor wedding, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're always taking a chance with weather. And so you know that going into it, you're willing to take a chance, and you think of backup plans and things like that. But a festival is tough. I mean, you think of all the money spent, the travel to get out there. You guys were camping, right?
We
Or
camped
planning.
out there, so we had to buy camping passes. We bought food. We bought new camping gear. That was a bonus, right? We got some good camping upgrades.
Yeah, definitely.
And you got to test it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
No leaks?
No leaks.
Yeah.
We had pretty good. We did a good setup. But yeah, you
Nice.
can check anything, really. You really can check so much stuff. And we got in right on the end of that Southwest 2 free checked bags.
Oh,
that's right.
yeah,
So
nice.
we loaded up. We had 4 free checked bags full of camping gear, and then just a carry-on, and then your one item, and we were rocking and
We're
rolling.
good.
Yeah, so
Nice.
we made it work. It was one of those things. I think you had it right on the head, where it was very similar to that level of disappointment. We planned this like a year out,
Right.
Yeah,
And,
yep.
and you're like, okay, this is the date. We're stuck on that date no matter what. And then 6 months out, you're like, the weather's kind of scary. And you don't want to talk about that juju. You don't want to put it out
Yep.
there. And then, of
Yep.
course, we still want to be prepared. So we had all the rain suits. We did all that. And so we were okay. But getting out of there was challenging. We got to attend one day of the festival. It was fun in that aspect. So there was 100% refund. So you kind of got a free day in that aspect.
Yeah, but you can't. I mean, it's like we talked about.
Yeah.
Your expectations
was
are so
hard.
high,
Yeah.
and
The night it was canceled was cool because the Bonnaroo community is really strong. You can tell, like, it's all about like being home and a family and like sharing different items. Our neighbors would feed us, give us drinks, and it was just so like communicative. And at the last night, we would just find like these little pockets of parties. All of the food vendors had DJs inside of their trucks.
Nice.
There was one guy, I swear, he was on something because he was there for like 6 hours. I don't know 6 hours, but for the hour we were there, he was doing this. the whole time, just moving his hands to drum and bass music. And I was like, that guy's on something.
Yep.
But everybody's having fun. It's a safe space, and it was fine. But yeah, we had a good time in Nashville. Nashville is country Vegas, so we got to see that side.
Nice.
Jelly Rolls bar is really cool.
Oh, nice.
Morgan Wallen's bar is really cool. Post
dope.
Malone's bringing a bar there. It's basically, if you're a big country artist,
You
you're
got a
good.
bar.
Yeah, you got a bar
Nice.
there. Yeah.
Country artist row.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was fun. Good food, and we made the best of it. Tried to
That's cool.
take advantage of being in Nashville, and we actually had a very lucky thing. My fiance's best friend went to Nashville for her birthday that weekend. So
Oh,
we actually ran into her and got to hang out with her best friend, her husband. They had just had a new baby. So there was a
Nice.
really, really nice little
that's cool.
yeah. Sindra was like, let me hold this baby so I can have some therapy.
Right?
Yeah.
I know. That's tough, but I mean, it sounds like you guys,
We made
just
the best
made the
of it.
best of it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then I'll use this to kind of lead into my wedding that I just did last weekend. I was so heartbroken over this event. I needed to DJ a good event for people. It's therapy to me. That's how much I love this.
of course.
And they gave me music that was house, that was Fred again, that was Gorgon City, and then a little bit of the Bay
Nice.
too. We played Mac Dre, we played
Oh.
E40.
40.
They were
Yeah.
like, we're all from Cali.
Nice.
They
Too
were like,
short?
yeah, exactly. They were
Right.
like, we're from Cali, so if you could sprinkle in some Bay stuff in there, that would be great. And I was like, oh, for sure. But like, I told the bride at the end of the night, I was like, you guys, this party I needed this so much because I was down bad and I hadn't had like a positive experience in a while. I was just trying to mentally be okay for this wedding, for a big wedding. And so, yeah, I wanted to make sure that was good, but the set was very good. We went to like 1 a.m. They were good partiers, and it was like therapy for me to be able
That's good.
to DJ. I
Yeah.
was like, this is
Got your,
just...
got your mojo back.
Yes, it's just hitting on every level. I'm doing good. They gave me good music. They party
Nice.
hard, and that was a fun wedding. Beautiful florals. We were at Inn and Spot, Loretto, different spaces. We were in ceremony. We had a dinner area and then a whole nother like after party area. So it was cool because they did real clean, elegant looks. And then the after party had tinsel, neon signs, florals, disco balls. It was very
awesome.
It was fun. Neon
Yeah. It
disco
looked cool.
was,
And I think
was the theme she wanted.
I loved it.
Mara Jane Photography was
Yes,
the
Sarah
was it
was
Sarah.
was the shooter, but great team.
Nice.
Carrie Osborne was the planner, and it was just nice to have a good, well-rounded team to work around.
Definitely.
They flew in a bartender from France.
Oh dang.
Oh,
He was making craft cocktails, no drinks, no like it was very specific, but he was a really cool guy. Really,
Nice.
really, really cool guy. And overall good wedding there. And then Bonnaroo. I'm trying to think of other weddings that I had. Did we talk about Memorial Day weekend? I think we did.
Yeah, I think last.
Yeah,
episode,
I thought we
right?
did.
Yeah.
So then, I had that. Had another really solid Indian wedding at Four Seasons. They party hard. It's funny because
That was a 2-dayer, right?
yes,
Yeah.
and you could tell they're tired, but they just will stay.
They just go. Yeah.
20 people just on that dance floor, and I was like, "All right, you still want it? Oh, keep going!" And
Nice.
so
That's good.
that was a fun wedding. That was
Nice.
me.
Cool. Cool.
Oh, and then I've been DJing at the Sandia pool parties.
That's right.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's been really fun as well.
Yes.
So just doing some stuff for Sandia and Rico, that's been really helpful. Just filling in these random days because one event goes away, another event comes in, you make more money
Yep.
DJing less, and you're like, well,
Yeah.
Not mad at it.
Not mad at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yep.
for
so
sure.
that's been good.
Definitely.
What you had going on, Victoria?
Yeah, just had a wedding, a lot of private parties these past 3 months. But I did a wedding out in a small town. It was a good one, they wanted a lot of country music, which is not typically what I do. But, these are kind of people that I have known of, and they really, really wanted me to be there. And, it was just a beautiful setup. They went all out with the decorations. Of course, I took my stuff out there, just really elevated the space. But yeah, we just did a lot of things that, I really tried to warn my couple about and really try to prep them for. And, it didn't end up working out. Some things didn't end up working as well as we wanted. But it was a good wedding all around. They wanted me to stay an extra hour. So that's always a good
So
sign.
you know you're doing good,
Yeah,
right?
so that was a good sign. Wanted me to stay. And they were just ready to party. And, it was kind of an interesting one too. The couple was really, really young. So one was 19 and the other was maybe he's 22, 23.
Very young.
Yeah, very, very young. So it's kind of like what we see in the clubs now with those, freshly new 21ers. They're not necessarily vibing out. They're not dancing, but they're enjoying the music.
Sure.
So there was moments where I had everyone on the dance floor, and then there was moments where there was only like a couple on the dance floor.
Sure.
So it was very interesting when they asked me to stay because I was like, I couldn't read their vibe, but I just think that's just the vibe of these younger people now. They're not necessarily on the dance floor, but they're in the background, turning up
Vibing.
and vibing. And I'm like, okay, well, it's just very, very, very different. So
Makes sense. Though.
yeah.
When we're DJing in a space, it's way different from a Spotify
Yeah,
playlist. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Even if it is just kicking it. I noticed that at the pool parties. When I'm there, it's a nice elevated mix, and then when they play their list out of the house speakers, it's just not felt the same
no,
at
I
all.
completely agree.
No one's
yes.
connecting to it. So when you're able to just give it some flavor and keep the momentum going, I
Yep.
think people really do enjoy that. I've actually been trying to push that for a lot of couples who want to go till midnight, right?
Yep.
Well, let's party till 11 and then let's transition into like a cocktail lounge kind of vibe where
Yeah.
I'll still DJ for you, but it turns into a nightcap. People can have some closing conversations. People who want to leave can leave, but I like that. And that's cool that they asked you to stay.
Yeah, no, it was cool for sure. And, I think too, like kind of preparing my couples that may be a little more country, it doesn't always work the way you think. So that's kind of how
do you mean by that?
that's kind of how this wedding went. Like my groom was super into country, wanted nothing but country, but he and his people and his family only danced when I played hip hop.
Oh,
During
wow.
open dancing, which was really funny.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it was the hip hop and it was Spanish that really hit that night.
Okay.
Especially during open dancing. No country hit. Every time I played country, that crowd cleared. It was time to go drink, it was time to cool off.
Yeah.
And it was just funny because, that was really the direction they wanted to go for.
Mm-hmm.
They really told me like lots of country, more country than anything.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, that's my job. I'm there to do my job.
Mm-hmm.
And after a certain point, I was like, me and for their party, I'm going to have to switch gears. Instead of doing more country, let's do a little more hip hop. A little more singing, dance along type music,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll throw in a country, here and there, instead of other way around, like
Yeah.
just playing a lot of country and then throwing that stuff in. And that worked, and it really turned around the night. I feel like they wanted country for the cocktail, they wanted country for the dinner, and I think by the
You
time
get burnt out on it, right?
it was
yeah.
so burnt out. By the time it was to open, like by open dance, it was so burnt out.
Yeah.
It was so burnt
I've
out.
seen that happen in the past with different themes, like maybe not necessarily weddings, but sometimes like corporate events where we want to theme night it in 80s,
80s.
music.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and after a while they come up and they're like, okay, you know what? Let's go ahead and branch out and play some newer stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like it's because you do like, and a lot of that music, even country, it ends up sounding the same. Like, and you just get, it's monotonous, right?
Need like a palate cleanser.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, no, and that's definitely what it was. I hadn't done an extremely traditional wedding in a really long time, and that one
Is that
was like
Covered all your bases.
covered
did
every
everything?
single base. We did bouquet, we did garter, we did the bride. You got to pay for the bride to come
Oh,
back.
yeah.
We did father daughter, we did mother son, we did la marcha, we did. There was so yeah.
What time did you what time did you did ceremony as well?
No, so they got married in the church.
That makes sense.
But their dinner
Cocktail hour.
and cocktail hour started at 3.
Wow.
So I was there from 3 to midnight.
My God,
was
that's a long day.
It was a long day, and I had to come back to Albuquerque the next day for an event. So it was a doozy. It was a doozy. And then
Sheesh.
that kind of goes into one of the things we were going to talk about today was like, you got to let me know what we're doing. I'm one of those people. Like, I like to be prepared. I hate when things are just thrown at me.
Yes.
I tried to have meetings with this couple. I tried to help them out with the process. And then the day of, they're like, with the paying to get the bride back, I'm like, what do you mean?
Throwing things at
just
you.
throwing
Not
things
in
at
the
me.
timeline.
Just play
We were-
whatever. Just do this. Just announce that. And that moment, I will say, killed the rest of the night. That single moment
believe it.
right there, vibe killer. Just
It's such a
just
momentum. It
They
just
don't-
stops all momentum.
Yep,
We're
and
begging
everybody's
people
like-
for more money, and like,
yeah, and they did a dollar dance.
Aye, that's
Yeah.
even crazier.
Yes. Yep.
We're gonna ask you for money two separate times. So
times.
hang on to that other 5 because we
Yeah.
got something else coming.
Yeah. Yep.
Uh,
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I
Wow.
think it's just a traditional
it
thing
is.
that we
That's
see here
exactly.
in New Mexico.
Exactly.
And I do think
There's some families. It's the roots are deep.
yeah.
You know,
It's
the
so
culture.
deep.
The culture is deep. The roots are deep. We have to do this. My great grandma's auntie, third cousin, that's right there
Yep.
that I've never met, says we have to do it.
Yep.
Yeah. No, and it was definitely like that. Like it was 100%
Yeah.
like that.
Oh,
Like even my girlfriend's mom was just like asking, everything they wanted to do, and I was like, "Yeah, they want to do this and that." She's like, "Yeah, that's just traditional stuff right there."
Yeah.
Like,
And
and
then the randoms come up to you. When are we doing this? And you're like,
we're
Yep.
not.
we're
yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
yes,
for
we
sure.
are. We're
Mhm.
doing that.
Yeah.
In fact, you're gonna do it right now.
Yep.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, but
Yeah.
considering there was, a lot of things thrown at me, I feel like I handled it well.
long as they're happy.
just rolled with the punches, right?
you do.
Just made sure, and they were extremely happy, and like, I know the kind of service that I can provide, even if you throw things at me.
Yeah.
I know that you could have went with maybe a different option, and may have not been able to. They may not have been able to deliver in that way.
Yeah.
And I know with me, like whatever you throw at me, I'll be able to handle it. We'll figure out a way
Still
to do
made it
it.
work,
And we still made it work.
That's called
Yeah.
being a professional.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know,
we
and
still made it work.
That's what you do. You roll with the punches and got to be flexible and understand that you're going to deal with some things that you may not expect. The unexpected, and
Yeah.
just how you going to deal with it. And I
Yeah.
think professionals handle it with care, with class, with ease,
Yep.
and
I always try not to let them see the stress.
right.
You know
Exactly.
what I mean? Oh yeah, no problem. All good over here. And then I'm
Ye-
like, oh my god.
And
what do
there
we
was a moment where I had to take like the deepest breath. I was like, okay, you're good, you're good.
Yeah.
So during that, stilling of the bride, they were ready to bring her back, and one of the bridesmaids came up to me, and the dance floor was packed. I was playing a good song. She was like, "We're ready, play that song." And I was like, "Okay, let me just fade out this one." She's like, "No, now, do it now." And I'm like, "All right, watch this."
do? Yeah.
Did it, boom, killed
Killed.
the rest of the night. Rest of the night was gone. Like, just kind of very demanding. And I was like, you know what? Okay, this is what you want.
Yeah. You just give them
Let me
what they
take my
want.
breath, announce it on the mic, and we're good. Like, that's all I can do.
Right.
No, it's good. You
Yeah.
handled it well.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Well, and every event is a learning experience for us too, right? And I think that's what you have to
Definitely.
be as as a professional. You deal with every wedding and event and experience that you have is learning and is making you better in some way, shape, or form. So,
Absolutely.
it's. I think if you are someone that is a my way or the highway type, that's when things get really difficult
Mhm.
and tough for you, and then people don't want to work with you
Yes,
over time,
absolutely.
right? So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, and it was a good learning experience for me. I was like looking back on it, and I was like, wow, I had not done a super traditional New Mexican wedding in probably like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Everything that's coming through Cutmaster, LA, Houston,
Right.
wherever they're
yeah,
coming
it's
from.
a lot of
And it's,
destination.
they're not even from here. They don't know any of these traditions. So it was like one of those things where it was kind of just like a cultural shock again, because I was like, had not done a New Mexican wedding in so long.
And
Right.
they love it. They love all
love
these
it.
traditions. Everybody's having fun. You'd like to believe that everyone's having fun, but it's just what we know. We know packed dance floors lead to great memories and good parties, right?
Exactly.
Like it's a very easy formula. So like when they're trying to tell us to kill a dance floor intentionally, it's like, oh my god, this is so frustrating. You don't even know what you don't know or what you don't want. That's
And
hard, but
it's
you handled it very well.
And it's shocking to the crowd. Like
It's all on you, on the DJ.
Me
You're
and this
making-
bridesmaid know what's going on.
Yes.
And the rest of the girls that are bringing the bride in.
Mhm.
But to the people that are dancing and swinging around their girls, and they're doing, I'm pretty sure it was like a country Spanish song I was playing, and they were having so much fun, and it was a good moment. And for them to just be dancing and then boom, it's done. They're
Right.
like, wait, what?
And then they look at you like you did this.
It's all on
decision.
you.
Yeah.
It's
They're
all
like,
on
what
you."
are you doing, DJ?
Yeah.
And you're like, hold on. Like,
Exactly.
I had this is a great it popped. The bartender, the one who was flown in, he had to say last call. He no, you can't do it. I have to do it. So you need to stop the music right now. And it's banging. It's a bumping party. And it's like maybe, I don't know, 11:50 or whatever.
Yeah, that's weird.
And I was like, okay. So I stopped it. I played, I'm in the building and I'm feeling myself.
yeah.
And so, like, that song was going crazy. It was maybe
Banger.
30 to 45 seconds in. And then I just had to stop. And they're like, what the? And so I was like, I'll start it over.
Yeah, I'll run it back.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
But he was just saying, like, please, I'll load you guys up on drinks. But
you
it
know-
was like the craziest thing. Like, no.
I'm going to put this out there.
Ugh,
Guys,
I hate that.
bartenders, venue coordinators, planners, stop asking for a last call. Don't do it. It kills the dance floor. There's no need. You know what? They don't just let it die out, let them get their drinks or whatever. Like, why do you need to have this mad rush to the bar at the very end of the night? And it's a party killer. Like,
Definitely
stop doing it.
It hurt. I started that Mac Dre song and did good, and then once that like kind of fizzled out, and I moved on to something else in that hip hop area. I was like, oh, okay. They went to the bar. Give them 10, then we'll go
Honestly,
back.
I don't do it. Most of the time,
I try not to,
So,
but they're on your.
I'll usually just say, yeah, let me after this song, and I just don't ever do it, and nobody ever knows any different, and that dance floor keeps popping.
Yeah.
the remaining time of the night.
Yeah, and it is. It's such a vibe killer, like we're talking about. There's so many things that,
actively telling them leave.
yeah, you're
Right.
actively telling them
Leave the dance floor
go
right now,
Yep,
and go get more
exactly.
hammered than you
Yeah.
already are. Like, why?
Exactly. Yeah, it's just
I hear last call. I'm running to the bar though. That's my problem.
same. Yeah,
I know.
yeah, like
I know.
I'm there.
As a DJ, I don't want you to run to the bar.
Yeah.
My
that's
shoes
true.
are still on the dance floor, and I'm at the bar. That's
Yeah.
how fast I ran.
There
over
you go.
there.
Yep.
That's funny. No,
Cool.
yeah. So
All right. So I've had 2 events since last time. One at Bishop's Lodge, which was awesome. It was great working with Leslie out there. And this wedding, also destination wedding, couples from Houston.
nice.
Just some highlights. I only basically did the reception. Well, a little bit of the dinner. I had a couple of speakers out there they had a quartet, but just for speeches. I did the grand intro and toast and stuff like that out
Did
there.
they do a grand intro like song or just like
No.
welcoming them in?
Yeah, that was just walking in. Basically, I just introduced the bride and groom, and they came in.
But it was a different kind of moment.
Yeah.
I'm noticing. something.
Exactly.
Talk about it later.
Mm.
Yep. So, and then we went inside for, reception portion dancing. A huge moment of the night was the groom's daughter. She was about 12 years old, I think. Sang their first dance. It was Ed Sheeran's Thinking Out Loud.
Nice.
That
And
is
it was
so cool.
It was awesome. She was amazing. And you get kind of worried sometimes, right? Like someone's going to sing and you're just like,
Mhm.
oh, what's this
Especially a
gonna be like?
12-year-old.
Well, so I
Yeah.
had her come in during cocktail hour and practice.
Oh, good.
Because I
yeah.
could tell, like, just talking with her previously on the phone or like
It
on
helps.
Zoom call.
I've-
Yeah. I was like, let's just get the nerves out. You'll get comfortable with the microphone. I can adjust levels and all that.
Mhm.
The very first few notes that she started singing, I was like, oh no, like she's going to crush it.
Nice.
It was so good.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so, no, she was amazing.
Nice.
But yeah, and had some great moments. We had the snow on the dance floor. So, created some fun moments with that throughout the night. Trying to think of anything else with that wedding. Great crowd, great group. The playlist was super fun. That was actually one where I had to speak with the couple, more so the groom. It's one of those
Yeah.
you don't know what you don't know. He wanted to do some things throughout the night as well that I thought were going to be absolute just event, like sabotaging your own event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dance
Like what?
floor,
What's
dance floor killers. So
what
one
do
of
you
them
wanna
was like he wanted to have the microphone just open and freely available for any of his guests to come up at any point during the dancing
Oh,
and give a
no.
toast in a
Yep.
speech.
no way.
And so I had to kind of, give them an example of what could happen of opening up Pandora's box, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Imagine one of your groomsmen comes up and he just starts talking on and on and on. First of all, he's going to kill your dance floor because it's
Mhm.
going to completely stop. We got to, I got to
Yep.
turn off the music,
Mhm.
give a speech. And then after he's done, after 15 minutes, somebody else wants to say something. Then somebody else. And before you know it, 15 minutes is turning into 30, into 45. And now maybe we only have 10 minutes left of your night to dance.
Yep.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, some people
Yeah.
get this like feeling of like, well, I have nothing to say, but I could say something. Let me get up there, right?
Right.
That's
Yep.
just a weird feeling that people people get when there's
And-
an open mic.
And I think he just, you're picturing, and I
They're
get
good
it.
intentions.
Yeah, your
you know?
intentions are good. You're kind of picturing these like moments
Moments,
that you
yeah.
think are going to be memorable.
Yep.
But honestly, it's going to create a memory to your guests that you do not want to have.
Definitely.
And even worse, maybe with you, the couple that you don't want to have. The last thing you want is to be like, man, we literally only danced for 15 minutes that night because we decided to do this. It didn't turn out quite how you expected, right?
Yeah.
Yep. And I think like backing on what you're saying, I think like in the future I want to tell my couples like open dance is open dance for that reason. Like there's a lot of things if you want to add in there that maybe we can do, during dinner, during cocktail, during these different times because vibe killers. It is
Yeah.
just killing the vibe 110% when you're adding things in, when you're stopping the music, when people are going on.
I tell our couples every time during open dancing that you stop the music for something, even if it's just
Yeah.
bouquet and garter toss, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every single time you stop the music, it's an opportunity for guests to leave.
Yep.
Plain and simple, and they will. So, and maybe not all of them, and obviously it all depends on your party, right? The law of big numbers is in effect sometimes. You have a
Yeah.
500-person wedding and you lose 100. Well, it doesn't feel like that much.
That's right.
But you have a
Yeah.
100-person wedding and you lose 10 or 15 of those. That can really affect how your dance floor feels. Like,
Yep.
when had you just not or moved things around and done things in the right spot, they would have stayed and hung out longer, right?
Exactly.
So, anyways, we talked them through that. They decided, yeah, let's not do that,
Yeah,
right?
good,
And
good,
so,
good.
yeah, so it was good. They trusted me, and really everything that we kind of went along with and talked through made the night go awesome. They were super happy and excited. So that one was fun. And then last week I had an event at Los Poblanos. Hadn't been there in I don't know, maybe about a month or so.
Nice.
Always great being over there at Los Poblanos. The team over there is awesome and amazing as always. I'm trying to think of some highlights. So that worked with Mara. Actually, that was the first time I'd worked with Mara of Mara Jane Photography in a long time.
Yeah.
Always great working with her.
Mhm.
You guys are looking for great photographers. Mara's awesome. But I've got to shout out the photographer from the previous wedding at Bishop's. I don't think I'd ever worked with him before.
Who was it?
I actually can't even remember what his name is, but it's Cloak Photography.
Okay.
He sent me his pictures, the whole album, edited, done in a week.
Whoa.
The entire thing was done, and he sent me the
Impressive.
pictures, and the pictures were really good. I mean, I was really impressed, and I've got to say that I was a little bit worried because he had talked about not doing some certain set of pictures that I think most photographers will normally do.
Like what?
I think it was like during sunset or something like that. And he had talked about just already getting the shots that he needed and that he didn't need to do that. And it just worried me a little bit because I was like,
Sure.
huh, you're not. And I told him, I was like, no, go do it. Like, it's not a problem,
Yeah.
like timeline wise or any of that. And he was like, nah, we're good. And I don't know if he went off and still did it anyway or not. We were kind of talking through that, but that just made me worry a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, like, I looked at the album and super impressive. Like,
Nice.
go check out It's Cloak Photography, I think is what it's called.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And
Cloak photography. Cloak photo on Insta.
yeah,
Cool.
it was really good. And he was great to work with. Just
Nice.
like, and I always point that out. That's why we like photographers like Mara, like Talitha,
Mhm.
Alicia, Lucia, just like a lot of common photographers that we work with. They're just easy to work with
We're a
throughout the
team
night, right?
on that day,
Yeah.
on wedding day. A great example was I had a couple who wanted a picture with every group of family members. So it was like 19 different groups.
Mhm.
So I'm connecting with photo and saying, okay, I'm going to announce this next group. You're going to take this group. And we're all collaborating to make sure that we're being efficient with this 45
Definitely.
minutes that we have, right? And so I
Yep.
think communicating with them and photographers, along with like planners and venue staff, but like we work with them so much.
Totally. Well, there's an instance at this Los Poblanos wedding with Mara. They had done just I guess a couple of welcome speeches, and they had glasses of champagne out, but nobody ever did the actual toast, right? So they didn't get the hands in the air and
Yeah.
that
Oh.
photo. And Mara was like, "Hey, can you announce them really
Yes.
quickly to put their, the champagne glasses in the air?" And I was like, "Oh, absolutely!" Got out there really quickly. Let's create one more magic moment for these two. Toast to the bride and groom. Cheers to the bride and
Yes.
groom this
Yeah.
evening, and got the picture right.
Yes.
Perfect.
I will
Yeah.
if I notice that hasn't been said, I'll do it right at the end. Can we raise our glass one more time for everybody? But that's so perfect because
Yeah.
they really want those moments. Or even if I notice like photographers shooting open dance, I'll ask them to put their hands up.
Exactly.
Because that's a good moment.
Good
for
moment,
them
yeah.
To shoot.
But that wedding in general at Los
It's awesome.
Poblanos, that group was just super fun. Dance floor packed the entire time.
Nice.
How
How many people?
That one, I mean, I think they only do up to 60,
Right.
And I think they maxed it out at 60 people, and it was packed. It was fun. The playlist once again was super fun. We were just kind of a little bit all over the place. I'm trying to think of things in particular. They actually had a few country songs, I think, in there. You could tell they were just songs in particular. I don't remember the name of the song, but one of the groomsmen came up to me and was like, "Hey, can you play this song?" I didn't recognize it, and I was like, and I asked him, "Tell me the story real quick. Like, does this have some significance?" And he was like, "All the groomsmen were in the car, blah blah blah, going from here to there, and we just had it on nonstop." And I was like, "Perfect,
Yeah.
I got you."
Yeah.
And so that made me at ease, right?
Yeah.
And when I threw that song on, the whole group was screaming. They couldn't believe
Yeah.
that I'd played. How did you know?
Yes,
right? Like,
right.
Yeah. No. Exactly.
You
That
look like
happened
a
to me
god.
with that Zombie, the Cranberries.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Really, want to play Zombie
Yeah.
Cranberries? But they were like, "No, dude, the groomsmen love this. It's gonna go crazy." I was
Yeah.
like, "All right."
Yeah. No. It's
Sure enough,
funny
it
that
did.
you guys say that because I literally had that too at my
Yeah.
wedding that I was just talking about.
Oh, nice.
One of the bride's cousins came up to me and he was like, "Hey, like, our bride and our groom really love this song. Like, this is their song." And I was kind of like, "Oof, I don't know about that." We always get those. You
It's true.
never really know. And I was like, you know what? Let me just play it for them.
Yeah.
Their whole crew, all the people
Wow.
their age, everyone just got on the dance floor and they were like moshing to it. It was like
Wow.
a Gucci Mane song, which
Okay.
was like kind of already. I was like, I don't know.
Sure, he wanted country.
Exactly. I was like, are you okay?
That's funny.
And then I was still mixing and stuff, so I was getting it like ready. And then
Yeah.
someone else, one of the bridesmaids, was like, "Hey, can you play a Gucci Mane? This blah blah blah." And I was like, "Okay." So everyone knows
Mhm.
this is their thing, and it worked. It got all of their people up there. They were like moshing to it. I was
My-
like, "Okay."
So you tell me if you guys have heard of this song. Maybe I'm just not with it.
Okay.
It's called "Mountain Time" by Ian Munson.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
So you knew it. I
I-
didn't know that song.
It
I
was
don't
a.
think I know the song.
It's a beautiful song.
I'd play it, but I think we get hit with copyright.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It was a first dance for a couple from me a couple years ago, and I've saved it, and I love that song. It's such a fun.
Yeah, very boppy.
Yes, that's
Okay.
funny that got the boys going.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It's a,
That's what.
it's
that-
a really good song.
Well, so what was cool about it? So I'm looking at because I'm looking at the playlist right now. So I was in a little country vibe. So I went Chattahoochee, then a bar song with Tipsy,
Yep.
with
Nice.
Shabuzi, and then right into that, like it just like it lined up, right?
Nice.
Um,
Through 100 forces by the rain, something like that. It's a good song.
That's cool.
It's just
Okay,
like,
okay.
We
and,
fell in
it
love.
was
Yeah.
it was a good track. It was, like you said, it was kind of a little bop.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was fine, and that was a case of just trusting, right? But I had to ask him. I had to
That's
make
a
sure.
unique
So I'm
song.
like,
Exactly,
wait a
yeah.
minute, before I play this, like, what's the like?
Exactly.
How's it? Basically, I was asking him, how's this gonna go, right?
Yeah, no, definitely.
So,
Nice.
And
That's
those are
cool.
good questions to ask.
Yeah, so DJs trust those requests,
Yes.
but like ask questions to
Yep.
get to those answers.
Yep.
What's the story behind it? I think that's a really good
Right.
way.
And
to
I think that just goes
learn.
to like this whole communication thing. Like,
Yeah.
let's communicate with our couples. Let's see what the vibes are. If
Mhm.
there's a song you don't recognize, don't feel like you can't ask,
Yeah.
right? Because I just feel like a lot of communication, a lot of talking, it just really, really helps. And it makes things easy for you. Like, I know for me, if there's something I don't recognize, I also ask as well. And it like makes those butterflies kind of go away. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, they're still going to vibe to this. Even though I don't personally know it, they're going to,
Yeah.
It's just, the problem at the end of the day with DJs and why it's an issue is because of ego.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
have to be able to just put your ego aside. And like, I was willing to play it, but sometimes you also have to understand and know when is the right time and the wrong time. That's what
Oh, yeah.
you've got to be good at, right? Like,
yeah, I
Yeah.
I did this and it went horrible. A guy
Exactly.
came up to me and he was like, "We're gonna play this song by Boston, and I want you to call out all the girls with the bird tattoo. It's like the mom, the aunt, and the bride." And so dance floor is bumping. I play the song, call out the bride or tattoo girls, and the bride comes up to the dance floor like, "What is this? What are we doing?"
Right. What are we
It,
doing?
it was
Yeah.
so confusing, and I was like, "Oh my god, why did I listen to this dude?"
Yeah, exactly.
I trusted him,
Yeah.
and that's my fault. That was my spun out, went into something else, but that was a moment that.
Yeah, and I
didn't
think
go
like
as
once
planned.
people hit that kind of like tipsy mark, they think that they know exactly what everyone wants.
Yes,
This is gonna get everyone on the dance floor, and then you look, everyone's already on the dance
Right.
floor.
Yeah.
You mean like that?
Yeah, like this. Yeah, and it's kind of like
It's the worst.
I don't know. It's just one of those hard things where you're kind of like, well, maybe they know them, maybe they don't. I don't know. So yeah, it's a slippery slope.
Right.
My favorite is when they make a request and you have it queued.
Yes.
Like, hey,
yeah, I got
it's
this.
coming.
Yep.
Yeah, I do that to them. Like,
Yep.
I see.
Yep.
Cool. All right. So, great events. I know we got some more coming up. I've got an event this weekend. I'm at a Hotel Albuquerque, so I'm actually really looking forward to this one as well because she gave me the playlist. This is one of those where she gave me a playlist. It's over 200 songs, and I love it. I looked at the playlist and I'm
Nice.
like, oh my God, it's everything. It's all over the place, like from pop
nice.
punk to 2010, 2000s to hip hop to the disco. It's got everything in it. So
Nice.
they're just like, we just like everything. Like, do your thing.
Love that.
Yeah.
We just want to have everybody to have a good time. It's going to be I think a big wedding. I think there's going to be a lot of people at this one. So I can't wait.
Nice. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good one. Okay, so let's get into our topic here. We've got about, 15, 20 minutes to discuss these. And what we want to do is chat a little bit about the trends. And we've been already doing that a little bit here.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, the trends that we're seeing at our weddings so far in 2025. We're almost to the halfway point of 2025. And so what are you guys seeing at your weddings?
Let's see. For me, what I was seeing most is a lot of couples are kind of going away with either like a lot of heavy formalities or they're loading up the formalities at the beginning of like they just want to
Yes.
get to
Yeah.
the party, right? And so I had a couple the other day during a planning meeting talk to me about how they wanted to do the parent dances, the first dance, the grand intro, and then go into dinner. And I was like, okay, we can do that, but that's going to take us like 30 minutes. You're going to like, according to our timeline right now, your guests will eat for another 2.5 hours. Or like
Exactly.
it's,
Yeah.
and I know they're going to be frustrating wanting to eat. We can knock those other formal dances a little bit later. So I think spacing that out worked really well. But also, too, I'm having couples who are just doing away with grand entrances.
Yeah.
Yep.
No formal intros.
We're seeing either no formal intros or like in my
Or
case
just-
for this weekend, it's only bride and groom.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
they just want to
Yes.
be introduced in. They don't want the big to do, like
Yep.
8-person different song, big
A
show.
lot of people are feeling bad to put their wedding party in that position.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've heard that as well.
They don't want to.
We don't. They're not big dancers.
Yeah.
or
And
this
I
that.
could not agree with them more.
Yeah.
Like I said, at my last wedding, super traditional, 12-person wedding party.
Yep.
They all picked a song. So awkward. Like, some people just aren't into it.
Yeah,
They're
they don't
not
know.
into
Yeah.
it. Like, do not subject them to do something that they're, like, uncomfortable with. And everyone can feel it.
Yeah.
That's the
Right.
thing. Everyone can feel that energy. And, if you choose to just do, like, you and your partner,
Yeah.
it's quick, it's fast, everyone's already excited. But when you have, like, announcing and clap your hands for, and now we got
12.
and here we go. And
It's old. Yeah.
And I think we're starting to see our couples join the cocktail hour more than they used to. In the
Yes.
past.
Yeah,
So
which
there's
I-
really no need for an intro at that point.
I
Like,
love that.
They've already been immersed into the experience, into the party.
Yeah.
There's not
Yep.
really. Now, I think if you aren't a part of the cocktail hour, it makes sense. Yeah, do
Sure.
an intro, welcome them into their own wedding, into their
Mhm.
own party, right? And do it like that. Maybe go into your first dance. That's what we're doing this
Yeah.
weekend here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think it works out fine. But I think, a great example is my Bishop's Lodge wedding that I just talked about. They came inside. They did their first dance. She sang the song, and that was it. We went right into dancing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, these spaces are unique. Bishop's Lodge, Inn and Spot, Loretto, I'm thinking in what's it's right by La Fonda. It's 3 separate spaces: cocktail, dinner, and then the other room, La Posada.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
So these spaces are interesting because they don't really have like a dance floor for your first dance or for your grand
Right.
intro, right? So like, yeah, when we did ours last weekend, they just walked in and everybody clapped and we transitioned into dinner music and that was it. I thought was really cool was the groom did a thank you speech at the end of it all, and then he said, "All right, now follow me to the dance party," and everybody got up and followed him. We turned on the music right away, and it was very like, oh, it's bumping in there, and
That's
so
awesome.
like the crowd followed the bride and groom into there, and then they went to a champagne tower as well.
Oh, that's cool.
Another new
Yeah.
trend. Cake, not at all. Cake either being cut during dinner or it's
Or
not,
they're just not announcing it. Like
not being
Yep.
made a moment
It-
out of.
my wedding this week. And
Yeah.
it's funny that these are all trends.
Yep.
I am announcing that they are going to cut the cake, but we are not stopping the dance floor, and they're doing the cake cutting later into the open dancing.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
I
like,
feel like the staff is going to hate you for that.
I'm assuming that they
They're always like, we need to do it so we can cut the cake.
right, and obviously if that
do what you-
happens,
Yeah.
we'll do it, whatever. But they're waiting until like
Sure.
I think 9:30 to cut the cake.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna make an announcement, that they're gonna cut the cake. If you would like to, to watch them, you're more than welcome. But we're gonna keep this dance party going and keep the vibes going, right?
Yeah.
And it's more so an announcement for it's like your parents or people like that want to see kind of
Traditional
those
people
moments.
who want to see it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they don't want to stop the dance party for it. But yeah.
Yeah. I talked to a couple last week. They actually are ready to book. We're good to go, and we're just kind of just talking about the wedding and the flow of things and things they have planned. And they are doing like the paleta guys that walk around like
Oh,
a
yeah.
cart.
Yes.
So they're gonna do something like that with like churros. So it's not. It's gonna be just
Churro
like a
cart.
moment where people are like handing stuff out, but it's not necessarily like, okay, everyone pay attention to our bride and our groom. Like we're cutting music, we're
No,
doing
yeah.
this. It's just kind of like they're gonna show up. If you want some, you want some. If not, it's cool. You know.
Yeah. We
So-
had that something similar where they had the guy on the paleta running, like rolling through open dance floor,
Sick.
just handing them
I
out.
love it. I love it.
It was. We were like, the paleta guy's here, but the music's bumping. He's coming in. He's just handing them out.
Yeah.
It was fun. That was a cool moment.
Play the
Um,
ice
Yeah, and I
cream man
think-
music.
Right.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that, I think too, like just going back to like things that I'm seeing with these couples that I'm talking to,
Yeah.
it's just every time we talk and I'm like, well, what's your vision? Like, what are you guys picturing the day of? It's very much like we want the club at our wedding.
Yeah.
Right.
That is the biggest thing I've been hearing.
Mhm.
We want the club at our wedding. Like, we want it to just feel like you're not even at a wedding. You're at the hottest spot in town. You're just like having so much fun. And like, also, too, I've been seeing like a lot of couples that are like super into EDM. They want that at their wedding. Like,
Yeah.
all our people are super into that. Like, let's kind of rave it out a little. So I'm
Yeah.
like, cool. I love it.
I think that leads us into our next one, which the 2010s music is definitely in.
Yes.
I think that was
So
like the
back.
start of that EDM time period, right?
It really was
Absolutely.
big. Your Avicii's,
Absolutely.
LMFAO, Calvin Harris. They're
Yep.
still doing stuff now, but like
But they want to hear
That
levels.
was yeah.
They want to hear party rocking.
Me and
you
Joe
know?
have a
Yep.
joke that levels can literally go over anything at
So
128.
that was one.
Absolutely.
Anything.
So
Anything.
that was one of my moments from my Los Poblanos wedding. I posted it on Instagram. You can go check it out at Cutmaster Music. And I created a personal edit of levels that has
So heaven's a place on earth.
heaven is a place on earth over the top of it.
Hits.
And it just it hit. It was one of those moments where the girls are screaming it. They're all
Yep.
And so, yeah, the 2010s vibe is definitely in right now. We were
Mhm.
talking about some like the Jay Sean,
Mhm. Jay Sean, Lil Wayne,
Lil Wayne,
Justin Bieber.
Justin
Yeah.
Bieber.
Huge.
Oh yeah.
all that
Huge,
2010s
huge,
pop
huge.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pop punk stuff, the Mr. Brightside, and
Yep.
the Blink
Still
182.
doing well.
Yep.
See, that's
Fall Out
interesting
Boy.
because that's more early 2000s.
Yeah.
Versus
Yeah, and I
10s,
think
but it's still a hit.
And I think that's kind of like where it's becoming. So it's like what I'm seeing, even when I'm doing like club events, like the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, not really working anymore. It's more like 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010.
Mhm.
Like that era of music
That makes
where it's
sense.
kind of like you're saying, like a little pop punky, but then you had like LMFAO, and it was just like a really,
Mhm.
in my opinion, great time for music. It was a lot of hip hop, it was a lot of dance music, it was like you had Rihanna making,
Mhm.
EDM songs with Calvin Harris, and
Yeah.
it just was really, it was just a really, really cool
Your
time for
Katy
music.
Perry's.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so I did a set. I'm looking at it. I went Icona Pop. I love it.
Oh,
Into
every
the level,
time.
into the levels versus Heaven is a Place on Earth, into Titanium, into Starships. One more time blend.
Mhm.
Yep.
So yeah, just like
What is it? Heads will roll.
Heads will roll
Yeah.
every time.
Dun, 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 dun. It goes crazy every time.
Me and Angelique were literally talking about that song yesterday because we were on our way back to Albuquerque,
Yeah.
and it came on, and I was like, one of the most timeless songs ever. Like,
Yeah.
I've been working with a bunch of kids that just graduated high school these past couple months. That song is on their request list every single time.
Yeah, I believe.
And these are kids that, like, how old were they really when that song came out?
Well,
genuinely.
it's the parents, right?
Exactly.
And I think that's what you're seeing is like we've got right now.
I know my kids are listening to house music.
Yeah,
Dude,
like
for sure. Yeah.
that's what your parents listen to, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I love 80s music. My mom
Right.
loves 80s.
Exactly. Yeah, and then it like especially with that song, when we were talking about it yesterday, like once Project X came out
Yes.
and that song was in that soundtrack,
Sent it.
it sent it into this orbit where it's like the ultimate party song. Like your party is lit if that song plays and everybody's out there just going crazy.
Yes.
So it's kind of like just like a cultural thing too.
No,
It's
it's,
gonna
it's so true that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's gonna be interesting to see where music's at in 15 years,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because what is the music that's hitting right now?
Yep.
And it's like all throwbacks.
All throwbacks.
It really is.
Yeah,
Um,
I hope we see that come back, like that, pop where these pop artists are making music with like
Collaborating.
Calvin Harris's and like let's just make it fun again. Like the ratchet stuff is so cool to an extent, but like it only hits for, I would say, like this is just me in my experience at the clubs here in Albuquerque specifically. It only hits for about 30 minutes,
Yeah.
45 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it gets very old. It's very
All right.
repetitive. It's very like, okay, how much Sexy Red can we
Yeah,
hear?
I was just gonna say, and it's mostly the female rap, right?
Exactly,
Like,
yeah. Like, and then too, like once you get past like what's popular, so like the Glorilla stuff on TikTok, Sexy
she's
Red
got
stuff.
great music, but she's only got those couple.
Exactly. That people want to sing along to. That's the thing. They want to know the music that you're playing. And I've been seeing that a lot too. A lot of people talking down on us DJs about what we're playing. It's like, well, you want to hear, Afro beats and all this stuff in the club, which is awesome. But the general public does not really know that stuff. They want to go dance. They want to hear stuff that's familiar. And like, that's not on us. That's on you guys to know different music and get out of your frame. And, it's so interesting right now with all that stuff.
Those are tricky because you are kind of DJing to a general audience, right?
Exactly.
And generally, everybody wants "Yeah" by Usher, and we've played it too many times now in our
Yes.
lives, right? And so it's hard because on one end, we know it's going to get them going. They want it, or another one I saw
Well,
was
you have to-
Temperature or Get Busy, Sean Paul.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
You have to think about how music is consumed now, though, right? Like,
Exactly.
so we all we're on Spotify and Apple, and you have these playlists that you just basically you have picked. It's not like back in the day where the only way you heard music was to listen to the radio, and
Yeah.
the radio fed you, right?
Exactly.
Like,
Point.
so
No, absolutely. And that's always
ways.
a big argument. DJs were meant to break records. Yes, we are. But how are we supposed to break records to people that don't want the records
Right?
to be broken
All you want
to
to hear
them?
is Katy Perry.
Yeah, that's all they want to hear. They want to hear something that they heard when they were little or when mom played it or when this or that. And it's like,
I think it plays into like social media too. Like people
Absolutely.
want those moments, those viral moments that they see, and they're only maybe 10-second moments,
No.
right? And it's interesting how that works.
I've been saying that all summer.
Yeah.
I've been, doing a lot of grad parties, a lot of, younger people
Those
stuff.
demos.
Once the 10-second part that they know is over, they're like little tiny, like just sticks just
Zombies.
standing there. They're just
Yeah,
like,
they don't
well,
know
now
what to do.
what?
That's how I know I played Latch, Disclosure.
Yeah.
And takes a while to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good song, but they didn't know anything until finally the drop, and I was like, oh, okay, you guys
yes,
actually
I
do.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do like
And it's
this song.
interesting, like
Wow,
I know
okay.
when I was like in high school or middle school, like whatever the DJ played, I was just happy to
You're
be
having fun.
out and dancing.
Yeah.
Like, and I just was having fun.
Mhm.
Whether it was a song I knew or didn't know, or if the drop took forever, I was like, yeah, let's go, and it's weird that vibe just isn't there anymore.
It's the brain. Our brains are changing. I think
Yeah.
the way we consume media and audio is changing, and we do have to evolve with it. But yeah, it's
But it's tough.
And it's
when it
funny,
comes to dancing.
I never thought I
Yeah.
would say this because I never thought I would be, in this space, but I'm starting to get more out of my weddings than I am at the club.
yeah.
Like, genuinely, like, it feels so good when I see everyone dancing, my bride and groom's on the dance floor, I'm playing music that I like, that they like, that everyone likes, and it just is like really fulfilling for me, opposed to when I'm at the club and somebody has their phone in my face and
Right.
I'm literally I've gotten booed before, and I'm like, okay, I know I'm not that bad, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so just crazy stuff, and at
You're
a
not booing me. You're
Right.
booing this artist.
Right.
Like-
Exactly. Yeah. And it's like, whoa, this is so much has changed. Like, it's so crazy. But like, I'm just starting to get more out of weddings and working with couples that like I align with than in the club, which is crazy. I never thought
Yeah.
that I would be in this
These
spot
couples
right now.
just appreciate your talent so much
Yes,
more. I feel like,
yes.
and when you can dial in on somebody who wants the exact style of music that you like to DJ, it's a win-win.
It's
And-
so cool to have in
Such
the,
a win.
in the DMs. I've got like
Yeah.
couples that reach out all the time. We cannot wait to have you at our
Yes.
wedding, and the
Yep.
weddings are like months away, right? Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
and I'm like, I'm stoked too. I'm like, I can't wait either. Like,
Yeah.
you
And
know.
I love it too. Like, I've been seeing a lot of couples that like I'm like, hey, can we meet? We set up the meeting. They're like, we already looked into you. We've been watching your YouTube, your TikTok, this and that. We want you. Like, don't even
Sales
say.
easy.
Yeah,
The
they're like,
sales
say
meeting's
less,
easy.
And it's really it feels good to me. I'm like, okay, I am doing the right things, and just sticking to me. That's all
That's
you
the
can do.
best.
Like, I know we're trying to like evolve with the club stuff and all that, but at the same time, it's kind of like, well, everyone has to evolve, not just us DJs and everybody, the clubs, the people that go to clubs, and I don't know, just the wedding space has just been feeling really good.
Yeah, definitely. It's
Point blank,
nice.
period.
I feel like the idea people who are getting married right now are in that perfect age pocket. I'm interested to see
Yeah.
what we'll see.
yeah,
in
what we're
10
gonna do
years.
these
Yeah.
next
Because that
10 years, right?
19-year-old, or I guess they're getting married too. but,
There, yeah.
like the 21-year-old who's just graduated college or 22, and then they're gonna, I don't know. We're gonna see what it'll look like. In
Right.
10 years,
Exactly.
but-
Okay, we're gonna kind of go through these ones pretty
Okay.
quickly here. We're running out.
moving.
We're running short on time.
Cool.
So the next one we were talking about a little bit earlier, that last minute changes seem to be a common theme with us. You know,
Yes.
just things getting thrown at us like
Random
day
ideas
of, right?
coming, and it's like, well, this would have been great information
Exactly.
2 weeks ago, because then I could have prepared.
And it's not even to just shut down your ideas. It's just more so from us so we could stay organized and we know what needs to be announced and that everything goes smoothly.
There's a lot of moving parts on a wedding day,
Yeah.
and if we're delayed here, it's going to trickle down into being delayed
Exactly.
3 hours from now. So we need to make sure that all that stuff is accounted for. And of course, yeah, if it's a bad idea, I don't want to do it. So
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
It's
Well,
Yeah.
and it just sometimes ideas take time to think through, right? And
Yeah.
the best way to
and
execute
they may
it.
have what they think is a good idea, and then you paint the picture for them, and then, but yeah, that time you need that
It's
time.
like, yeah, no, that's not a good idea.
Yeah, versus day of, you can't. Then you're the bad guy. Or
So
bad
we just
person,
know that
you
at
what
the
I
end of
mean?
the day, and I think any planner will tell you this, that anything that's planned out works a lot better, smoother than things that are done on the fly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Which is typically why we also advocate for having a planner.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so the next thing I know Tony was talking about, seeing a little bit more family style dinners, right?
Yes, I've seen a little bit. I've seen it twice this year. A lot of buffets. Don't do them. I'm just saying it now. They take too long. If family style is great for a table of 6.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For 200 people, it takes so much time to feed these people, to get it all out, and to feed them in certain courses. And it's like a course dinner that takes even longer because everybody's just kind of picking. And it just didn't work out the way they thought it would. Food was great, but passing all that food out took almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
And it just, oh my gosh.
Interesting.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was fine because I got a little bit of a break. I was like, wow, we actually have another hour before anything. They're like, yeah, half the tables haven't even been set. Like, you're good.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, shit,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
So,
The next one that I've definitely seen as well, that florals are alive and well.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Mhm.
That wedding at Bishop's Lodge, they had crazy florals.
And the color, I feel
Um,
like they're
Yeah.
very colorful.
Yes.
Beautiful. In fact, they went and brought a bunch. You can see it again on my it's on TikTok, but on Instagram mainly. They decorated the whole just DJ area with the florals.
I love
it
that.
looked beautiful.
So
cool.
cool.
It looks so cool. Hey, and I'm gonna put that out there too. Like, take those florals, decorate your DJ area with it. Like, it looks so good, especially if you have your DJ like I was. That was centered to the dance floor. You're kind of the focal point. We've got uplighting that helps accentuate those beautiful colors.
It's a great way to
It's
get
awesome.
more value out of the flowers.
Yes.
You know, you're going to use them 2-3 more times, and then they can be their life can be extended. Versus
Exactly.
Just like the ceremony.
And I like the way that looks. Like,
Oh,
just like
yeah.
the DJ booth decorated. Like,
yeah.
it just
Super
looks
classy.
so
Mhm.
cool.
It
Yeah.
really helps clean it
Yeah.
up a lot.
And it ties it in. It's not just like there's the DJ, right?
Yeah.
It kind of like is like very like to the eye,
Mhm.
very like, ooh, that looks good.
Yeah,
It's
true.
not that any of our setups are eyesores, but
No,
it's
but it
very
only helps.
it's blatantly obvious where we're at when you see a massive DJ booth and
Yeah.
speakers
sound
and
and
stuff
all
and
that,
sound. Yeah, it just helps,
Definitely.
a little bit sweeter on the eye.
Mhm.
Right.
So florals, don't skimp out on florals.
Nope.
If you are managing budgets, think floral for sure.
Yes.
Next one, we were talking about how the East Coast wedding vibes. This is typical. These ones are just finally reaching Albuquerque, right?
Finally getting here.
And so that was what were we discussing?
Talking about like live musicians, the grand intro into open dance party.
Right.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, that's right. So I was like, wait, what was this note that I had here? So I know you've talked about it, and I've actually
a few
done it
times, yeah.
recently, where
Yeah.
having an opening dance set before the dinner. And so this is a very East Coast thing where they've been doing this now, I want to say for at least a few years,
Yeah.
where they have a 15, 20-minute dance set before dinner. And
So cool.
you
It
did it.
is.
You want to talk about
Yeah,
that?
yeah. So what we did is we did a grand intro into their first dance, and then we used the first dance. We made a remix out of the end of it and got into a fun
Sick.
mashup. And then the bride and groom are pulling their guests onto the dance floor. It's so inviting for the couple to invite them onto the dance floor versus some random DJ who's like, all right, time to party, come on out. So
Yeah.
it caught all the guests by surprise. But then everybody was already on the dance floor because we were at Hotel Albuquerque. So what we did is we had them come in through the fireplace room into the pavilion area, and then they were already all there. So then we
Right.
went right into the open dance, and that's old people, young people, everyone. The lighting is fantastic.
That's a great space to do it too,
Mhm.
because your dinner space is actually in a separate area from
Yeah.
there. And so since you already have people there on the dance
Mhm.
floor, what a great way to
That was the whole
start off the night.
mentality of like, we've already got them here. What if we just kickstart a dance party? And
yeah.
it's great momentum, really starts off strong, and you really will get those people who maybe won't dance the whole night just in that moment.
And you're getting pictures when
Yes.
people aren't all just like drunk, disheveled.
bogged down by food. They
Right.
had a big meal.
Out there at that time,
Fresh.
there's light,
Yeah.
so it's great for the
It's a
photographers.
really, really good idea. It's hidden. It's very successful.
I
both
love that,
times
and
we've
it
done
just gets everyone excited for what's to
Mhm.
come. It's
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a tiny little taste where it leaves everyone like, oh, we want more. of
Oh, that was fun.
That
Let's
was fun.
go.
Let's
Yeah,
do it.
yeah.
Yeah, let's get through it. Let's
Yeah.
let's jump into that.
Definitely helps that positive momentum.
Yeah,
Nice.
I love that.
Okay, this is gonna be the last one for us that we have seen so far, and I think all of us have seen this in one way, shape, or form. The lounge furniture on the dance floor is in.
Yes. Not necessarily on the dance floor, but like
Well,
around,
surrounding,
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
surrounding.
yeah.
But it's basically, I mean,
It's right
it
there.
was pretty much
It-
on the dance
pretty
floor
cool.
for me.
It's giving like a section at the club, which is
Yes!
so cool. Like
there you go.
everyone loves and like when they see a section, they're like, yeah, that's dope.
right.
That
Yeah.
would be fun. You
Yeah.
put them there, and then maybe give them what feels like bottle service. Doesn't
Exactly.
with like different juices.
Come
and-
out with the sparklers.
I've
Yeah,
seen
a
those. Have
sign.
you
That's
guys with the Vegas signs? and,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like
I've
that's
seen
actually
that.
really big. So
Yeah.
that could be something that could be really cool, where you give like private, or I don't know, could
And
be
it's
feel
cool.
elevated.
It's cool too because it like when I saw this with my couple that had like the lounge chairs and stuff, like it seemed like they were able to put people who wouldn't be on the dance floor all night still on the dance floor involved. Yeah, like they were involved, like they were dancing on the couch, but it was like with everybody because it was so close to like our area where the DJ booth was, where they were like watching them dance and stuff. And like by the end of the night, like everyone that was sitting like on the tables migrated to those lounge couches.
Yeah, you want to be a part of it, right? And
Yeah.
so when all the seats are at least 10 feet away from the dance floor, it's not as
And they were like
inviting.
having conversations, and then a part of the song that they knew would hit, and they would be like, yeah,
Right.
and then they would go back, and it was
very
just really,
nightclub private
I
section.
thought it was
Exactly.
super cool
Love
too.
that.
Yeah, it's super cool.
They actually, with my wedding, this was again at Bishop's Lodge, opposite of the DJ booth. So we have the dance floor picture, a square dance floor, DJ booth on one side. It's like centered, and then directly opposite of us was all the lounge furniture on that side of the dance floor.
Nice.
It was awesome. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I echo, everything that you are saying with it. So, if you're looking for some ways to kind of spice up your
Couple couches will do a lot.
your
Do a lot.
atmosphere and
Yep.
dance floor, absolutely.
Yep, I agree with that.
All right. Anything else before we get out of here really quickly that you guys want to touch on trend wise?
No.
No, yeah,
trying
I
to
don't
think.
think I don't think so.
Disco is alive and well.
Yep.
I've noticed that too. I always ask our couples what type of music you're into, and then I'll start going down the list. Okay, country, yes or no? The disco, and I consistently see as an yes, absolutely.
Yeah. ABBA.
Yep.
People
Yeah.
love an ABBA.
Cool.
Nice.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for us this week. I know we got to get out of here. Let's do it again soon.
Later.
Later.
What's on the playlist?